Hey guys, there's Visuals, and let's talk about this new lens that Sigma just announced, the 28 to 45 f1.8. So I've been using it for the past week. It's been a pretty nice experience, to be honest. I did not expect to like it this much. Let's talk about the lens itself and all the features that it has. So first of all, it goes all the way to 1.8. So it's pretty wide open. We love that. We love the blur. And it's a zoom lens. Second of all, physical things that it has, it's going to be that aperture ring that is now declickable. So that's a very nice feature for video people. Always nice to have that declickable aperture. And one more thing, it also has the locking. If you rather not use the aperture ring manually, you can lock it at automatic, or you can lock it in the manual mode. What I mean by that is you cannot accidentally go to automatic by accident. It's not that it's going to be locked at a fixed aperture. And you also have a custom button. Both of them are the same. It's just if you use it in vertical or horizontal, it's just going to be easier to use. I think this is a 900 gram lens, if I'm correct. I'm not too sure about that. I'll write it down here. The lens is actually quite lighter than what I thought it would be. Especially when I held it the first time, I was like, this actually feels really light. It's to the point that it almost feels hollow a bit. It's kind of weird, but it felt really well balanced. And another really great feature that they did on this lens is that it has an internal zoom. And that's something that is really great for anyone that's going to be using gimbal or any of that. I think it's a pretty great lens for video. For photos, I don't really have any digital photo cameras, so I'm not going to comment on this. But if you do look at the charts of the lens, it's actually crazy sharp. From what I've seen and what I've shot, I find this lens to be crazy sharp, like really sharp. It reminded me a bit of the 40mm Sigma that they did, that no one wanted to buy because it was so big. Autofocus wise, it's pretty fast, it's pretty confident, nothing bad to say about it. Here are some tests, as you can see, from the Best R2A to the Pentax 6.7, from the Pentax 6.7 to the film canister. Minimum focus wise, it's not the best. It's just fine. Focus breathing wise though, there is not that much focus breathing. There is some, but it's not that much. It's not a parfocal lens, even though I feel this lens is definitely meant more for videos. It is not a parfocal lens. Probably the price would have been higher. Talking about the price, from what I've been seeing, I think it's 1,900 or 1,899 Canadian. I think that's what the price is. Is it expensive? I do find it on the higher price compared to all the other Sigma lenses that you can get, but it is a 1.8. These are the focal lengths that I personally really like, and I can show you a few clips here. So this is how it looks in 28. This is how it looks like at 45 or 40-ish. Those are usually the focal lengths that I prefer shooting at. I used to own the 42.5 from Sony, that small pancake lens, and it was one of my favorite lenses. Don't get me wrong, it did a great job, did everything that I needed to, but that 1.8 definitely just makes everything better. And just to give you an example of what that 1.8 is doing. So right now here, I'm filming outside at 1.8 at 800 ISO on my ZVE1. So you see, I don't really need to go higher on my ISO that much. I could push it maybe at 1000 if I want to have a bit more latitude or something. I could, but honestly, I find that this was pretty nice. And the fact that I don't have to go to 12,800 ISO just to not get that much noise in it, it's pretty good. Because if not, I would have needed to put an ND filter. But now I don't need an ND filter. I can just put a 1.8 and shoot outside. So that's why I really like having that 1.8. I don't need to be always shooting at 12,800 anymore. Because sometimes I did find that shooting at 12,800 made the autofocus a bit slower. I might be wrong on that, but that's from my personal experience. I find it that it was slower. So I'd rather shoot at 800 if possible. And now I can do that, and I'm pretty confident I can get the shots at night. So that's something that I really like. And let's be honest, there's also that background blur that you can get out of this. It's really pretty, and that's something that I've been missing a little bit because I'm used to shooting at f4 lenses. So what would be a great kit or a good lens with it? Personally, I was about to get the 24-50, but now that this lens came out, I'm probably going to be getting this. And I'm going to sell my current 16-35 f4 to get the 16-25 f2.8 from Sony. And I think that would be a pretty good kit. You're going to cover all the range without overlapping too much. So I think this would be a very great combo. And this is going to be a bit big, but at least it's 1.8. And that's probably going to be a main shooter. That's probably going to replace this lens probably. I think I'm at like 24 or 28 millimeters right now. So now I can get 1.8. Like, why not? So should you get this lens? Honestly, the focal length, I feel it's a bit more niche. But if you like that specific range, then get it. The price is a bit high, but for what it is, I think it's pretty worth it. The decision in the end is up to you. I mainly shoot dance videos. So to me, I tend to shoot like 16, 28, and 40. Those are usually the focal lengths that I always try to go for. I don't really go farther than that. I don't feel that I need it. And if I do need it, I just crop in. I just crop, or I just use the clear image zoom in the camera and I crop even further in post. To me, it still looks pretty clean. You could just sharpen it or something. To me, this is enough for what I do. Is it enough for what you do? Depends. I cannot speak for you. It all depends on what's the best range for you. If you do wedding photography or something like that, maybe this is not the best lens for you. If you don't mind cropping in, this might be a pretty good choice, especially if you want to get that 1.8 and you don't have to switch lenses. This could be a good trade-off for you, but again, do you want to crop in or not? If you have a 7.4, this might not be a bad choice. If you have the Lumix S5 II, the S5 II or the S5 IIX, you can just crop in, you can shoot an open gate. You have so much more room to play with. So I think it could be a pretty good choice for anyone in general, as long as you want that 1.8, because right now there's nothing else in the market that is 1.8. The closest lens that you can get around that price, it's a bit more than that, but it would be like the 35 to 150 f2 to f2.8. That would be the other option that I would probably think of if you do event or something and you want it to be one zoom. So it's up to you. Honestly, I'm not trying to sell you this lens, but from my own experience, I'm definitely going to be getting this because I like the result that I got out of it. So anyways, have a good one and see you in the next video. All right, take care.
Je suis ici avec Kiana, donc c'est une danseuse, c'est une danseuse professionnelle. C'est quoi que tu danses?
Commercial et hip-hop.
That's it. Fait qu'on va essayer de filmer quelque chose de même avec la nouvelle 2845 f1.8 de Sigma. Donc, je vous montre qu'est-ce qu'on va faire. Salut. C'est cringe!